everybody today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Timothy Douglas, and this is my colleague Derek Hurd. We're both from Lancaster University. I'm from the School of Engineering and Material Science Institute, and Derek is the head of the Department of Languages and Cultures here. So, in this very short introductory talk, I want to explain why we're having this. I also wish to introduce the speakers, to tell you some practical matters about running the conference, and then how I hope that will continue after the conference. So, you'll all have seen this flyer, SciLang, Holistic Integration of Languages into Science and Science into Languages. So we very imaginatively combine science and languages into SciLang. So why are we having this conference? Next slide, please. Well, we've had two conferences on this topic in the last half a year. We had a Languages and Science conference here at Lancaster University and online in November. And a couple of months ago, we had also an event on the creative fusion of languages and science in teaching. So why are we bothering to have these conferences? It's because there is a community of people who are interested in both languages and science, although they are not as visible as other communities. And I'd like to tell you what we discovered on the basis of these two conferences. Next slide. So, languages and science, like these two forks in the road, are thought of as being separate, but I believe that the brightest part is actually in the center of this picture, where you do them both together, because they complement each other. And so this conference is about encouraging a more holistic approach. So languages are good for science, and science are good for language, as we say in English, to get the best out of both worlds. So next slide. And there seem to be many unholistic attitudes towards languages and science. A topic that came up in previous events was this misperception of a fork in the road, that one does either languages or science, but not together. But we want to show that by knowing languages, it can be good for your scientific career and good for science. And the scientific world gives you very good opportunities to learn languages. So you can, as we say in English, kill two birds with one stone. What we also noticed was science and engineering professions are known to be very international. They're done all over the world, but languages are very rarely discussed, and therefore they're invisible. There's also a misperception that science is seen as being independent of language. Now, a colleague said to me recently, is tensile stress not the same in English and in Russian? Well, actually, yes and no. The scientific concept may be the same, but the way in which scientific concepts are expressed and the people who use the scientific, the different expressions in English and Russian, they come from different cultures, but also different scientific cultures. So the people who use these are different. Okay, and also people who do science are often not so aware of language as well, which hinders them in combining the two. Conversely, although there is a recognition that people who want to learn languages don't always want to do it from a humanities perspective. Not everybody wants to study literature, not everybody wants to study culture in detail. Most university language degrees are set up for people who do want this traditional approach, which is not so suitable for people who want a scientific career. And when you think about it, languages can be combined with everything, because we all talk, all of us, and write. So why should university degrees be restricted to one sort of subset of people with one particular set of interests? Next slide. In this conference, we want to have some examples of how we can integrate science and languages, and we'll have several examples from our invited speakers. We also want to give, there was also a wish for people to have practical advice on how scientists and others can learn languages better. I'm sure there'll be lots of wisdom shared today. And also, we want to show today that languages are so interdisciplinary. We have people representing so many areas in this conference, from comics to chemistry to anatomy to computing science. So people at universities want interdisciplinary research. What can be more interdisciplinary than using languages? Next slide. So a quick overview. I wish to introduce our speakers. We have our first session now, which will run to 10:40. Next slide, please. And we have speakers. We have Richard Simcott, an amazing polyglot who can speak 50 languages. We also have Francesca Citron, who is a psychologist. And then we also have Stephanie Kostadinova, who is a polyglot. She has a YouTube channel, but comes from the world of business and management and consulting as well. Next slide, please. And then in the second session, we also have three speakers on different sort of topics. We have Judith Meyer, who is an expert in a very wide range of languages, especially, I think her speciality is languages with some very different scripts to the Roman script. We also have Andrea Tosti, who's in person today. He's an expert on comics and how you can integrate science into science education. We also have Ryan Searle, who's a chemist, who will be talking about the connections between chemistry and languages. We have, after lunch, a session with some very interesting contributions. We have Teresa Ray Chuck, who is a language coach and the founder of the Global Magazine, has very interesting discourse on a deep level about language learning. We have Eleanor Bird, who is specialized in English literature and who works with Humphrey Davy, the electrochemist. And then we also have, in the next session, we also have Rebecca Shepherd, who will be talking about anatomy, how that's connected with language learning. Ruben Thomas is many things, a musician, a mathematician, a computer expert, but also a translator, so he'll be telling us a story. And then, excitingly, we are hoping to have a live interview today between El Shahis, who runs a very interesting podcast called the Speaking Tongues podcast, and the polyglot and language teacher, Kenny de Baardenmacher. So I'm very curious about what they'll tell us, but both are very worth listening to. And then also Benny Lewis, and Benny is actually an engineer who became a polyglot, and he's going to tell us about how learning languages is much easier than a lot of engineers think. Fourth session, where we have two very different events. Firstly, we have Lina Vasquez, who is also a well-known YouTuber and will be talking to us about learning languages in a holistic fashion. And then we're also going to be playing a game with Cesco Reale, Laura Meloni, and Adriana Georgieva, a language which is actually based on symbols, so stick around for that. And then finally, we'll have a discussion about how we can link languages and science in a more holistic view. Everyone who's participating is very welcome to share their experiences. Okay, so just one back. Wait, could you go one back? On that, we have about over 60 people taking part here and online. You're very welcome to ask questions in the chat. In the breaks, we'll have 3 or 4 breaks in the course of the day. We'll leave the chat open. You're very welcome to chat and network with each other online. The talks are being recorded. If you're not presenting, please turn off your camera and please turn off your microphone so that attention can be focused on the speaker. Thank you very much. Then the next slide, please. And then how we wish to continue afterwards. We're very interested in collaborating with people on holistic learning, on languages and sciences. We'll be talking to Lina Vasquez about this. We're also interested in hearing your thoughts. I will be circulating a questionnaire afterwards to get your feedback on what we can do better. And also, we're arranging a series of podcasts from people who use languages and science to find out how languages have changed their careers, and how their careers have influenced their language learning. And we have already some interesting people lined up, but we're very keen to have more volunteers. So if you would like to share your experience with language learning or your science and engineering, please get in touch with me so we can talk about this. It would be great. And finally, thanks to the people who funded us. Also, thanks very much to Derek, who you will have seen, who has been who's allowed this conference to be financed. And thank you all very much, because you can't have a conference without speakers and participants. It's you here who make this possible. Okay, so thank you very much. Are there any? I'll stop sharing my screen. Are there any questions? Oh, sorry, yes. I should hand over to Derek to say a few words before we introduce our first speaker today.
Yeah, I'll be very brief. So welcome everybody and thanks for participating. I also want to thank Tim, who's really the real driver behind this initiative here at Lancaster. And one of the things that's emerging for me, in addition to what Tim's been saying about conceptual challenges to bringing language and science together, are also the very real institutional barriers that we have often to